keeping our sheep in close to the town, we went out into the fields so the animals could graze in the high country. And as we were laying there one night, we were all complaining about our lives. Being shepherd is not the most glamorous job in the world. First of all, sheep are not the most fun animals to be with. Did you ever try to brush a sheep? It's not easy. They're not the smartest animals in the world. They put their head down, they start to graze, and they just keep walking forward. When they hit the cliff, they walk over. Sounds like some of our children, huh? We were the social outcasts. People did not think much about us. We were never invited to the parties, never having an opportunity to celebrate. We were always busy with the sheep. And so it was on this one night that as we are laying out there around the campfire, I have Myrtle sitting right next to me, the sky began to pulse and glow. Now, we've seen many funny things in the sky before, but we had never seen anything like this. It was as if the very sky itself was glowing. And it grew brighter until where we were was like the daytime. And that's when he appeared to us. I don't know who he was. Okay? Benjamin thought perhaps was alien from outer space. And so he wrote article for Judean Inquirer about spacemen who come to Judea. I don't think so. I think this was someone from other side. Someone from the beyond. Someone from heaven itself who had come to us to share a special message with us. Fear not. Now, I would be willing to wager that there have been times for each of you in the last year or so when you have had occasion to be afraid. Perhaps your life has not gone as you thought it would. Perhaps that young man you thought, who loves me so much, did not respond to your text messages in 3 seconds. And so you think, oh, it's over. Maybe the finances have not been so good. Maybe the health has not been so good. I know, young lady, you had scare recently when your husband was sick. I understand that he was scared too. Nobody wants to think that today might be the last day. But the angel speaks to us, and the first thing the angel said was, do not be afraid. I'm taking it easy for you to say. Okay? You got the lights behind you, you got the wings, you're floating in the sky. I'm sitting here scared out of my mind, and you say, don't be afraid. I was afraid. I mean, how often you talk to angels, huh? You know? That happened too often for me. But the angel went on to say, do not be afraid, because I bring you good news of great joy. Now you probably think to yourself, oh, my favorite driver has got a new engine for his car. Tim Tebow has found a place to play football. Gas prices going down. That's not great joy. That's little news. Good news of great joy. For to you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, Christ the Lord. Let's go back over that sentence, please. For to you. That's kind of personal. I understand you have a way of communicating with one another by writing things on paper, affixing some kind of postage stamp, dropping it in box, and it winds up someplace else. I would guess that at this time of year you have done that many, many times with Christmas cards, thinking, should we send to this person? She did not write to us last year. No, we don't. Oh, got card from cousin in Massachusetts. Better send her this card. Isn't it nice to have card show up at your house addressed to you? On the other hand, I understand you also get mail delivered to the box on the house or the box by the road. I don't know who occupant is, but that person gets lots of mail. Lots of mail addressed to occupant. You don't want to read that. I bet you don't even open. You just throw it out as junk. Only to find out later on it was a good deal. The angel says, to you is born this day. This day. How often have you had to wait for good news? How often have you had troubles in your life and looked forward to someday when life will get better? My friends, I tell you, someday is today, is now. For to you is born this day. Now, the city of David was pretty important for us because David, he was a big deal for our people, you know. He was good king. He sang pretty music, you know, on YouTube all the time. David playing lyre, David dancing around in the temple, doing David Gangnam Style or something, I don't know. I wonder, did David do Gangnam Style? Don't know. David was important to us. So to hear that someone has come to us from the city of David makes it special. A Savior. A rescuer. Now in our day, we did not choose our government. You get to do that. Our people became the government through force, or through insurrection, or murder. But as you contemplate which of the candidates is going to receive your vote, don't you think to yourselves, I hope this one is going to be the Savior. Maybe this one is reason for hope. Maybe this one will bring change to our country. Maybe he or she does, maybe he or she doesn't. For to you is born this day in the city of David a Savior. Christ the Lord. I know sometimes people, your pastor laughs all the time. You talk like Christ was Jesus' last name. You know, Sheila Ladwick, Jesus Christ. No. Christ was his title. It is the Greek word. And it comes from the Hebrew Messiah. Here's that again. It means Messiah. Rescuer. The one that God has chosen. For a people in darkness, Isaiah said, the light has shined upon us. Perhaps these little ones have no fear of the dark. When they go to bed, turn off the light, they go boop to sleep. Very good. My brother Fanachel was not like that. All the time we lay down in the bed on the mat to go to sleep, and he, oh, the monster coming through the trees. And I go, Fanachel, go to sleep, why don't you? He goes, no, the monster coming. It wasn't a monster, it was a shadow. From the moonlight coming through the bedroom window, creating shadows on the wall. Finally, the father has to come in and says, Menachel, be quiet. And you, Shemuel, leave him alone. Otherwise I bring in your mother. Then you really be in trouble. But funny how the monster goes away when the sun comes up. And you can see clearly what is there. For those of us living in the darkness of our times, the birth of the Christ was like someone turning on a light. It was like it was for us out in the darkness of the field when suddenly the whole sky seemed to be on fire. So it is for you, 2,000 years later. I don't know the specifics of your circumstances. Maybe you're looking at a retirement that is not what you thought it was going to be. Maybe you're trying to find a job. Maybe you got the job that you don't like. Maybe you work for a terrible boss here at the church. All the time giving you these bulletins to print and then making the changes at the last minute. I pray for you. Keep you in my heart. You poor thing. But it's as true for you as it was for us. It's the message that you are not alone. It is the message that you are important in God's eyes. It's the message that you are precious in God's eyes. Your pastor told me one time that when he was young, pipsqueak pastor, someone left a baby on the doorstep of the church. I wonder how that baby felt as it grew up and learned it had been thrown away by its mother. At least it was left on the church, so a good home was found for it. You are precious in God's eyes. To you is born this day, in this valley, in the time of darkness, a Savior who is Christ the Lord. Merry Christmas to all of you. I look and see what he has for next. It's the time for Matthew to come out and collect the taxes and the offerings. Tomas, would you do that for us, please?